Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Epokk, and today I'm just gonna talk to you guys about my ideal team for playing Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, this video won't be talking about the perfect team for competitive playing or for, just perfect team. I really am a big, big enthusiast of just playing with the Pokemons you like. I really think that's the best way to play the game. I don't think you should be playing with a certain Pokemon that you really don't like, but it's a perfect type or the perfect moves. I really wouldn't start with that. But me, I really liked some theorycrafting, and honestly I've been playing since Generation 1. Well, I started with Generation 1 and I have skipped on a few generations in the middle, but Generation 1 was very simple. It was like rock, paper, scissors, fire beats grass, grass beats water, water beats fire. Now, of course, there were more types, but not as many as there are right now. And honestly, since I started picking up the game once again at Pokemon Sun and Moon, I really had to relearn the Pokemon types every year before the new generation comes out. So this video is going to be a little bit for that. So I'm going to show you which Pokemon types are strong against which ones, and just my reasoning behind which kind of spots I have on my team. Now, I'm not going to talk about specific Pokemons that I want on my team because for the very simple reason, I don't want to show pictures of leaked Pokemons. I don't really want to talk about them because I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. Now, let's just start immediately into the video. Now, let's just look at what we know about the game. So we know there are gonna be 4 gyms. These are confirmed, and 2 of these are version exclusive. So that means there will be definitely a water gym and a grass gym. So these are run by Nessa from the water gym and Milo from the grass gym. Next, we have the 2 version exclusive ones, being either the ghost gym from Alistair, run by Alistair, who is a shield exclusive, or the fighting gym run by Bea, who is a sword exclusive. Now, I'm not really gonna mess around with, this is a short, this team is best for sword and this team is best for shield. Now we're just gonna make one team, nice and easy. Now, I have been looking over the Galar region map, and IGN actually did a pretty fantastic job on zooming in and trying to figure out some gyms. Now, I just have been looking over them and I saw gyms that might resemble one that's either an ice or a steel type, one that is probably a rock type, and a third one that's probably a poison gym. Now, so these are kind of our needs. We want to definitely be able to defeat water, grass, ghost, fighting, ice or steel, rock, and poison. So now let's just look at this list. Now these are the Pokemon types. Now on the left side you have the types that are actually strong against the middle column, and the middle column is strong against the right column. So for example, poison and steel are really strong against fairy, and fairy is very strong against fighting, dragon, and dark. Now, there are more elaborate lists out there, but honestly I'm not going to do that because I just want to keep it simple. It's already tough enough sometimes for me in Pokemon's terms, because I have a lot of catch up over all the generations. Anyway, so now let's get started. So we have 6 Pokemon on our team, and there will be, well, the first one is going to be my starter, of course, but I don't know which one is going to be my starter. So that's also pretty much the reason behind this theory crafting. Now, I am having a poll run on my community page on my YouTube channel, so be sure to go there, and there you can vote on my starter Pokemon. So right at the start, Sobble was winning, but right now I think Grookey has overtaken them. But I'm leaving the poll open until the date of release, so November 15th. So that's actually immediately one Pokemon I can't really rely on. If I knew I was going to use Scorbunny, then I knew, oh, okay, so that one is going to be strong against grass, ice, bug, and steel, for example. So I don't really have to have 5 other Pokemons for those. But I don't know which one I'm getting, which is really fun, actually. It's really cool in a certain way. So just to give you guys these powers. So let's just start immediately with the next spot, and that's the second spot. Now we're gonna ideally look at this list, and we're gonna find types that are actually strong against a lot of types and weak against as few types as possible. So now the first 2 that actually jump out immediately for me are ground and fighting. Now the ground is weak against 3 types and strong against 5 types. and same with fighting. Now, so ground is immediately one that I really want. So ground is strong against fire, electricity, poison, rock, and steel. Now we know there's a rock, well, there's going to be a rock type gym probably. Fire, I assume there's also going to be a fire gym, but I might be wrong. I have no clue. I can't really say anything about that. But anyway, we always have the Hobbs big brother with his humongous Charizard we have to watch out for. So being able to handle a fire type will really help us out. So ground is immediately a good one for me. So again, we're being able to knock off fire, electricity, poison, rock, and steel from the list. So he's our first spot. Now who this one will be, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I want a rock type. Now, fighting I will come back to in later because I have an idea for that one. Now, first we're going to talk about Fairy. Now, Fairy is a one that I really want because you actually have to look at Dragon. Dragon is actually only strong against Dragon, but Ice, Dragon, and Fairy are really strong against Dragon. So Dragon beats Dragon. Okay, why not? But I think that's, oh yeah, it's the same thing with Ghost. Anyway, so I don't really, like as I said, I'm not going to talk about all the leaked Pokemons, but if we're just looking at the returning Pokemons, I know there are going to be a lot of Dragon Pokemons in the Galar region, and there's a good chance there's going to be a Dragon Gym. I'm just estimating that, I'm just guessing that, but I think it's a pretty educated guess. So I really want a Fairy type, and a Fairy type who is also strong against Fighting and Dark. So my Fairy type will be able to beat a lot of the Bea's Pokemons that are behind the Fighting Gym. So I really want a Fairy type. Now a new Pokemon, for example, is Alcremie, so that's a Fairy type. So that's a pretty good one to start off with. Next, let's go over to the... Well, we actually have already 8 types down, so that's perfect. Now let's just look immediately at Electricity. Now Electricity is one of those Pokemons that types that I actually really want, and I'm not a Pikachu fan just from the get-go. But I saw, for example, we have Yamper or Morpeko, so our 2 electricity types. Well, Morpeko is actually is an electricity and dark type. Now, by the way, I'm not really including a lot of dual types in this list just to keep it a little bit easy. Now, Morpeko is great electricity candidate because we can beat water and flying. So once again, we have a water gym. So water is actually only weak against electricity and grass. Now, if Grookey wins in the poll, that's great, and I immediately have one to beat water, but I don't know for sure. So I really want someone to beat water, so that leaves electricity or grass. Now I'm gonna take electricity because I don't really want to end up with 2 grass types, because that would be just, you know, annoying. So I want an electricity type as a 3rd spot. So that immediately reduces from the 18 types, we actually have 10 types down. So let's continue. Now we also still have our Ghost Gym. So we actually already are beating the Water Gym, the Grass Gym, the Fighting Gym, the Rock Gym, and the Steel Gym, and I believe Poison? Yes, Poison also. Which is really great. Now let's just look at the Ghost Gym. Now the Ghost is actually only weak against Ghost and Dark. Now Dark, if we're using Morpeko for example, that will be a really good candidate, but I really think I should be getting another Ghost type just to also being able to fight against Psychic if that has a gym or multiple fights or whatever. Now I could also use a Bug, for example, against Psychic, but that actually just leaves me then again open against Dark and Ghost and Bug types. I really don't like Bug types, to be honest, because they're weak against Fire, Flying, and Rock, and those are certain types that you actually can, you counter them quite often. So let's just go immediately for the Ghost type. Now I know one of the new Pokemon is, for example, Poltergeist, but they're also including Ghastly and Haunter and Gengar line, which I am a huge fan of. I really love those, so I definitely want a Ghost type. Now Ghost type actually immediately removes 2 from my list, and that brings us to 12. Now we are getting there. Now for the last spot on my list, and so with 4 types we're beating 12 of the 18. Now I kind of I'm thinking for getting a dual type for sure for this one. And there are 2 that actually stick out for me. So if I think I'm going to go for Pokemon Sword. And for Pokemon Sword, that brings actually the version exclusive Farfetch'd and Surfetch'd. Now, Farfetch'd is actually a flying type, and the flying type is pretty strong against grass, fighting, and bug. So once again, we have that fighting gym from Bea, and having a flying type for that one is pretty great. And when he evolves, Surfetch'd is actually a fighting type. So that brings me back once again to the fighting types. And the fighting types are strong against, weak against 3 types and strong against 5 types. So normal, ice, rock, dark, and steel. Now there we go. We were still missing ice, steel, and dark, I believe. Yes. Yeah. No. I already had dark with my fairy. So we actually are knocking down 2 down there. But there is one, so that's the problem with that 3 is that actually if we switch up between Farfetch'd to Surfetch'd, then we're losing the flying type for a fighting type. So then I was looking at the other remaining types, and actually Corviknight. Now Corviknight is a really cool Pokemon. That's one is on my list. Now I'm gonna catch everything. I already promised you that. That's my thing. I really want completing Pokedexes and stuff like that. Capturing, gotta catch them all and that stuff. So let's just go for steel now and flying. Corviknight is steel and flying, so I really want steel. Now steel is again strong against ice, rock, and fairy, which is ideal. So I really need someone to beat ice and fairy, and then flying beats grass, fighting, and bug. So that once again beats the fighting gym from Bea. So with that combination, if we're going for our starter Pokemon, fairy, ground, electricity, ghost, and the dual type like Corviknight with steel and flying, because this dual type actually just kind of just really makes it very safe to well, yeah, just don't know your starter in all honesty. So actually that's gonna help me out a lot. So with that, we're just gonna be able to defeat at least, let's just see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 of the 18 types. So that only leaves us weak against ground and normal. And once again, ground is a very strong type because they are strong against 5 types, but they're weak against 3 types, of which water and grass. So if Sabal or Grookey wins, I immediately have one to beat those guys, and then normal is the only one that remains, and that one is only weak against fighting. But I honestly, you don't see that many normal Pokemon gyms, so I really feel safe in that direction. So guys, that is my reasoning behind my Pokemon team. So sorry if it was very much theory crafting and not very entertaining, but actually I just really enjoyed doing this. So as I mentioned, my team is gonna be, well, our starter Pokemon, whichever that one may be, ground, fairy, electricity, ghost, and probably Corviknight, which is gonna be a steel and a flying type. That is gonna be my probably my team as I play, but honestly, it's really fun to craft, but the moment I see something really cool, whatever type it may be, I will probably just use that. So that kind of actually makes the entire video pointless. Whoops. Okay guys, so as I mentioned, this video was just to have some reasoning and behind the Pokemon types, creating a certain team that just for the complete playthrough of the Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's just some fun theory crafting, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know which kind of teams you're making in the comments down below. Guys, I really thank you for watching. I hope you liked it, and I'll catch you next time. See ya!